Leslie in Texas has been waiting since we started the show. Leslie, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, Eddie. Aloha. Hey. You know that show Rocktails with Emmett Zappa?
Sure.
Well, I go to that show. It's on every Friday on YouTube. And one of their topics was name a great album that the album's great from front to back except for that one song you don't like. And I called in and I said, Kiss, Destroyer. The song I don't like is Great Expectations. And Emmett was like, no way, that song's great. That's my go-to song. It was just funny. So I thought I would bring that up since we were talking about.
Yeah, well, because that was the one that got beat up here, because that was the one that was like, okay, if you had to pick a song that you would find weak, that was the one most people kind of pointed to. But I that song never bothered me that much, but I didn't know Amit was a big fan.
Oh, he's a huge Kiss fan. We were going back and forth. It was really funny.
Well, I know that. I didn't know he's a big fan of that song.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so it's kind of funny because all the Kiss albums that I own from back in the day are Kiss 1, the first one, all the way to Love Gun. I own all those in LPs from back in the 70s. And the only Aerosmith albums that I own are Aerosmith Toys in the Attic, Draw the Line, and Live Bootleg. And for some reason, I don't own Rocks. I don't know why. But I'm like Ray. I feel like back in the day, I would have picked Kiss, Destroyer, all the way. But now, when I go back and I listen to them, it's Rocks. I think it holds up better. I don't know what it is. But
I think part of it that comes into play with it, Leslie, because I'm kind of in that camp as well, and I think part of it is just that, at least for me, and thank you, Leslie, for the call. I think for me, Destroyer is sacred, and Destroyer, and by the way, if you don't know why we're talking about this, we did a throwdown between these two records. I think it was last Tuesday. I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday, but again, everything's on the app if you missed it to hear it all over again. But Destroyer was, I was a kid when I got Destroyer. I would have been probably 11, and so for that reason, it holds an amazingly special place. But it's also a record that, take nothing away from it, it's a great record, but you kind of equate it with being, if you're of my age, and it's a similar story for you, you kind of equate it with it being like your childhood, right? And everything that came with that. Whereas with Rocks, even though it came out the same time, if you got it a little bit later, you might land differently for you because you weren't so young. I don't know. The bigger thing for me is the fact that Destroyer has songs on it that Kiss have played to death ever since they started ever since that record's been out. We talked about it. Detroit Rock City. Do You Love Me? Beth. Shout It Out Loud. God of Thunder. There's 5 of the 9 or 10 songs right there that are staples in Kiss's live show. And to that point, as great as the record is and the songs are, to me, that makes it a little, hearing this again, that's why it lands like that with me. It's a little burnt.